The App Connect Professional Studio helps users author orchestrations which are grouped together into projects. In the example here, we're concentrating on an integration task that receives JSON data over HTTP, passes that structure, and then uses an if block to choose between two alternate logging paths before replying back to the initial requesting client. A simple log entry will record whether the if branch was invoked or the else branch was invoked, based upon the value of a country field in the inbound data. Once the orchestration has been started as shown on the screen, we can then use the Studio's built-in testing utility to try out the orchestration. Once JSON data has been submitted to the inbound HTTP URL, each stage of the orchestration's behavior is displayed in the top right corner. Expanding the sections of the hierarchy will show details of each of the completed steps, which demonstrate that in this example, the main if branch evaluated to true because the country field carried the value GB. We can also observe that the final output from the orchestration is the same data structure that was sent in at the beginning. The next stage of our conversion demo is to export a plugin archive file containing all the details of the orchestrations in the current project. We're saving this PAR file to a directory on the local disk system, which will then be imported into the App Connect Enterprise Toolkit. Switching to the App Connect Enterprise Toolkit, we will begin by exploring the new conversion options from the File Import menu. This new capability lets users import an App Connect professional PAR file for conversion. You can browse to the local file system location where we saved the exported PAR file from the Studio just a moment ago. When we click the Finish button, all the orchestrations located in the PAR file are converted into message flows grouped into an application, which in this example is named Demo. On the left-hand side, under the Application Development workspace, there is a .message flow file open in the editor showing the message flow that mirrors the structure of the original ACP orchestration. There are some nodes that are displayed, and the red icons indicate that a manual configuration is required to finalize the flow. To perform the manual configuration, we can see there is auto-generated documentation showing the required manual configuration. There is a configuration properties file generated which has all the configuration properties and their values used by the ACP project. There is a task tab. This panel lists all the nodes that require attention. Each are clearly identified with a corresponding to-do. Clicking on the task from the list highlights the corresponding node in the message flow. This makes it easy for the user to navigate between the pending tasks and complete the configuration step by step. In the lower Properties tab under Description, there is a To-Do message left by the conversion tool. By clicking on Open Link, you are taken directly to the relevant section in the documentation, which makes it easy for the user to configure the particular node as the instructions are provided in the documentation. Our recording will rejoin the toolkit once all the tasks from the task list are addressed and configured accordingly. Our converted message flow is now ready to test. The input URL is configured and the root node expression provides the same capability as the if activity in the original orchestration. The two log nodes have messages configured showing which of the logic branches has been invoked. We will now use the Toolkit Flow Exerciser to deploy and try out the message flow in the local server. The same JSON data structure which we used for testing in the Studio is repeated here. The country field will determine which branch of logic is executed. The display also shows that the flow echoes back to the requesting client the same data structure which triggered the flow. Closing this display reveals a blue line showing the direction in which data has traveled through the flow, and clicking on a wire of the flow shows the data structure at that stage. Exiting the test mode, We can also now launch the App Connect Enterprise Administration UI. This web browser-based experience shows deployed applications, and drilling into an application reveals the message flow, including an activity log view that shows the log entry which the flow has recorded. This concludes our demonstration, which has shown how to easily convert App Connect Professional orchestrations into App Connect Enterprise message flows.